What's good with you, YouTube? It's your boy, I am Charlie P, and I'm back with another video. And if you're new here, hit that subscribe button. If you're a returning sub, I appreciate you. Hit that like button, leave a comment, and let me know your experience. Let me know what I left out. Let me know what's going on at your company. You know what I'm saying? But this is the video that y'all been waiting for. This is the video of why I left Stevens Transport. So I got a list right here. I pretty much wrote down some of the stuff that I didn't really like, per se. You know, if you want to, you can leave a comment down and leave what you like, or you know, you be like, hey, I like that part, or you know, I dislike it as well. You know, so just leave in the comments your input on Stevens Transport, good or bad. This is not no video of me bashing them, going down, talking crazy, none of that. It's just letting you guys know the reason why I left, pros and cons of why it didn't work out for me. So we're gonna get right into it. We're gonna get into number one. Number one was the communication. Communication there was not so good. So you always had to reach out. And I understand, you know, we all grown. We not babysitting one another and stuff like that. But, bro, like every time it's a situation, you always had to reach out. Like you always had to, you know, about your money, about your loads. Like you always had to reach out. And I'm just like, bro. And then you on hold forever. And I'm like, why I always gotta keep on reaching out each and every time? Like, I understand a few times, but like every time you always gotta reach out. Your DM putting you on hold. You trying to get this information. Your DM new. Your DM don't know what you talking about. I don't have the answer for that. They sending you over to driver services. They sending you over here. They sending you over there. It's like nobody knows what they supposed to do, how to help you. It seems like everybody just move around, switching up different departments, trying to, you know, get the lightest load job they can find, which I understand. We human. I want to be able to, you know, just sit on my ass and drive and come home every day, see my family make over 100K. Everybody want that easy job. I'm not saying they making 100K, but everybody, I'm just giving an example. Everybody want to make a lot of money and do less work. I get it. So like, yes, the communication, they will basically, like when I used to deliver loads, they'll like send stuff on a tablet. You would just hear, you will hear it on the tablet. You can't click on the notification because, of course, the truck is in motion. It's not gonna let you read it. So it would be something like, let me see. It would be something like you going down the road, you don't accept your load or something like that. You about an hour, 2 hours into driving, they send you a notification. I can't really remember because, I mean, they used to do a lot of stupid stuff and I try not to used to let it get to me. But they'll send something over the tablet, and then if you don't respond or like agree to it or something like that, they gonna basically call you and be like, you didn't read the tablet? I'm driving. But if you wasn't driving, are you rolling? So, yeah, man, the communication was terrible. They basically used to just not be, like, aligned with the communication. Nobody on, like, driver services, your DM, like, nobody was aligned together in that realm. They always was just, the miscommunication was just terrible, man. Like, I just hated that. Like, every time I'm driving, it's like, you pull over, your clock's still running. Like, who trying to pull over at a truck stop or something like that just to read this tablet? Because the thing is, they may send something, but you don't know if it's serious or if it ain't serious. You know what I'm saying? So I used to just ignore it and wait till they call me. I'm like, well, I'm driving. I got a load to deliver. Like, y'all need to, like, y'all see when I'm stopping, when I approve it or whatever the case may be. Do I wait until it's like an hour in of driving and then y'all want to send something on the tablet and get mad because I ain't responding within the seconds y'all want me to? So that used to have me boiling, but like, of course, it wasn't nothing for me to quit. It was just something that was irritating because every job gonna have something that irritates you. Even the job that I'm at now. And for the ones that don't know, yes, I am in the hotel right now. My truck is in the shop. Once you see this video, of course, I'll be back. My truck will be back on the road. Right now, I'm with Warner. I'm with Warner Enterprise. As of right now, these is for the people I'm updating, my fellow Stephen transport people, workers, drivers, you know, that watch my video. So right now, my truck, I am still currently at the hotel. It's Sunday, March 23rd, due to my truck needed like seat belts, it needs seat belt buckles and like little small miscellaneous like a tire or something. But enough of that. We're gonna get back to the Stephen Transport. So my second thing was to pay. This one really made me mad. The pay, yes. So every time I vectored in everything. It was only one time. One time I forgot to vector in a unloading, which I never seen this unloading this expensive. So I had an unloading fee that was $610. Never seen it that much. So it had to get approved and everything. Like my DM had to send in to her boss to approve the unloading fee because it was so much. I never seen one 600, even though I went through training. I went through two different trainers. I was on the road for 2 months with a trainer. Two different trainers. Never seen no unloading fee that was $610. I think the max before that, I think I seen maybe 300. So she was like, whoa, because like anything over 500, I think they needed to get approved. So I forgot to vector their receipt in, even though I always kept the receipts because one of my trainers, they was like, always like text yourself the receipt and email, like basically do both. So I did. I had it on me. So that was like right before my home time. And I seen my check was like real short. And I was like, and I seen this took out $600 out of my check. I'm like, why y'all take out $600 out of my check? So I called in, they said, you didn't vector in the receipt. I said, all right, bet. So I said, I got the receipt. So I entered in the receipt. And then once I entered the receipt, I told them they need to expedite my money. So they expedited my money because I was actually in Atlanta, Georgia at the time when my check was short. I'm like, bro, I need that money. Like, why y'all shorting my check? I'm out of town with my family for my son's birthday. So they expedited the money because we get paid every Friday. Well, I did get paid every Friday there. And so my money came Saturday. And then right before I left, I told my wife I did close enough to 2,000 miles, and I had to basically big, and the majority of those miles came from me driving back to Dallas to drop the truck off because they wasn't giving me no miles. I was like, when I went dedicated, it wasn't giving me no miles, and I was like, no. So so they gave me a load when I came back to Dallas. That was like 1,400 miles from Virginia, where I was at in Virginia, to Dallas. And so I was like, okay, I told my wife, I was like, man, my last check gonna be good. I said, I turned their truck in, ain't nothing wrong. I turned in meat locks, I turned in everything gonna be good. So Thursdays, they basically show you what you gonna get paid out for Friday. And I woke up in the morning, I was like excited to look. I was like, yeah, this one gonna be nice because I got almost 2,000 miles, thank God, because I took a long trip back to Dallas. I was like, this ain't adding up. This ain't adding up. Called in, which I still have Vector on my phone, driver services. They hung up in my face. Called back again. I said, why my check short? So of course I had quit, so the truck wasn't assigned to me. They had to look me up by my driver code. She was like, you got to talk to your DM about that. We don't control the pay or how is the input. I said, all right, bet. My old DM at the time wasn't answering. So I called the lead, which was, his name was Michael. He always got stuff straight. He got stuff straight from day one of when I went dedicated. He was like, oh, you got Vector still on your phone? I was like, yeah. Like, he was surprised. Like, I guess he thought I was going to delete Vector and I didn't have it. Like, they was going to finesse me. I was like, no. So I told him the job ID, the load ID or whatever. And he seen it. So he sent it up to the payroll lady and said that he's going to get that fixed. He said he does see it. He was like, he don't know why I didn't get paid. I said, I don't know either. So they sent that up, and then I called driver services again. I talked to this different girl because the other girl was rude. So this girl said she's seen it as well. She sent it over to payroll. I said, well, y'all need to expedite it, because that's what I told them last time, and they expedited it. So I said, y'all need to expedite it. So it was like a $900-something check that they was finna try to keep from me. No, was not going, buddy, because the miles that I did, the miles that they gave me was like 1 mile from, it was from Virginia to Washington, which was like 500-something miles with 54 cents. So that was like I can't really remember, $300-400. And they forgot that load where I had the layover, which they paid me $200 for, and I got paid for each stop. I did those 3 stops on that load. That was 225 miles, if you've been watching my videos. And I had that 1,400-mile run all the way back. So I had about a cool almost maybe 2K, about 1,900 miles. And I was like, where my money at? So they sent me my money. So they will pay you, but you gotta, like I said, the communication is bad. You're gonna have to keep calling. You're gonna have to make sure you got your information. If you're working at Stevens, Vectory and everything, keep all your receipts. Remember all your job ID, get the Vector app on your phone, because if you just got it on that tablet sometimes don't work anyways. But make sure you got it on your phone. Keep it on your phone, because if you don't keep it on your phone, you're gonna be in for a rude awakening. So you always got that proof. So yes, if you're working at Stevens Transport, keep it on your phone, because they gonna try to screw you over on your pay, and you're gonna have to call them. And I know another guy that I communicate with that watch my videos, that's my homie. He said he don't have to communicate with them about his check. So that's what I'm saying. They'll get you. If you don't watch out, they'll get you. And they probably done got me for like other little stuff, but like $20-30 that, like when I first started, but it's so far back, I probably don't even remember where that stuff is. So I just chalk it to the game. So number 3, we got driver services. They rude. I don't like driver services. They rude, like I said before, when the lady hung up in my face, they rude, they unprofessional, they don't be caring. I'm gonna be real. A lot of people at Stevens Transport is hood. They don't care. They just working the job. They really don't care about the truckers. I'm gonna just be real. They just there to, like, the girls is there just there to flirt and stuff like that. But you know, I pull up, I'm married, so you know, I ain't flirting with them. Like I ain't no flirting ass nigga. I got my wife, you know what I'm saying? I don't need them. So they basically I guess they catch the drift that I ain't with the, you know, the stereotypical trucker cheating on your wife, flirting with other women. I don't do that. I respect my wife, you know, to the utmost. She respects me, I respect her. So, you know, I ain't with all that. So I guess they be like, they see me, they turn their face up because I don't give them attention that they want. But I'm not these other dudes. Like, I ain't thirsty. Like, they ain't even talking about nothing in it in the first place. So they rude. I don't really like dealing with them. They unprofessional. I'm gonna just be real. Because when I walked in there one time, they said that they were so unprofessional. They had a little meeting talking about they fired a girl. I feel like when you fire somebody, you don't supposed to have a meeting that y'all fired, that y'all let somebody go. You don't tell the other employees that they just gonna eventually catch the drift. I just never went to a job that, like, the manager just go around telling people, yeah, we fired her. We just had a meeting, yeah, we fired her, we let her go. Blase, blase, so we're gonna be shorthanded. I'm like, bro, that's unprofessional as hell. Like, you don't just go around just telling folks you just done fired. You feel me? Not a manager, but hey, that's Stevens Transport for you. So, number 4, the care of the truckers. They don't care, bro. Like, I'm gonna be real. They don't care for them truckers, bro. Like, all they care about is them trucks moving and moving freight. I get it. It's a trucking company. I get it. But if you want them to care for you, they not finna care for you for real, for real. They not finna care about getting you home. They not finna care about nothing. They not finna care, bro. I'm just gonna keep it like that. So number 5 is home time. yeah, like I said, they not finna care to get you home. They gonna do the least. Like they did get me home. I wanted to come home for my son's birthday. My son's birthday on the February 27th. I put the 25th. So when I was in training, I got back from Christmas, and I was like, I'm gonna stay out. So I went back in like December, and I started on my own because I did grad in like December. Then I started on my own in January. They was like, I always put like 2 days ahead of time, put 2 days ahead of whatever day that you really want to be home, so you can somewhat guarantee. So and then my first time, I had just switched over to Dedicated. Dedicated called me like a week and a half before I had to go home, my home time. So Dedicated said you only can do 5 days, right? But Stephen Transport promised you'll get 7 days when you take your first home time. So when I did Christmas, I was in training. That's technically wasn't home time. They look at it like an emergency because I wanted to go home for Christmas, but they wasn't trying to get me home. And my trainer, he talking about, sorry, I can't get you home, blah, blah, blah. So I just took a flight back home. So they look at it like I got out the truck for an emergency or whatever. So they don't count that. So I took the Dedicated, like, they gave it to me like a week and a half, and I was up in Utah. I had to get over to Nashville. I got a video explaining all this, but you know, if you're new here, I'll repeat it for you. So they basically struggle with getting me back. It's like the 22nd, 23rd, one of them. And so they just give me a load that's going to Georgia. So that load going to Georgia was like 1,900 miles, but to get to where I was at, where I live, was like 1,700, because like Atlanta is like 3 hours from me. So I kept calling and making sure I got, was gonna get home and stuff like that. I was like, they like, we working. So they like getting smart with me, but I mean, they did work to get me home, because obviously I dropped the video. I was there for my son's birthday because we had a lot of stuff planned, but they just all unorganized. So then I'm in Illinois. It's like right there by like Missouri, but it's like the Illinois is right above Kentucky. Like I was like 3 hours away from, I was like 5 hours away from home. I get a note on my tablet talking about I'm on safety hold. My truck need this, my truck need that. So I call them, I'm like, why is my truck needing all this right before I finna go home for home time? Because then they was struggling with finding me somewhere. They said, well, you gotta find somewhere to park the truck. They was like basically like trying to make it seem like it was my problem to find somewhere to park the truck. But I'm like, I'm a company. This is your truck. Like if I was a contractor, I would understand that because I'm leasing the truck. Let me find somewhere to park it. But I'm company. So they tried to act like it was like, well, we don't got nowhere to park it in Nashville. We don't got no. I said, it's a Kenworth. Oh, okay, well, you need to call them and see if they got room. They may not got room. If they don't got room, you're going to have to park it somewhere, maybe an hour or two away from home. I'm like, bro, I'm not finna make my wife drive no 2 hours to come get me. Y'all finna park that motherfucker right there. So then they said something about the hold. And I was like, what y'all mean I'm on hold? Because my home time is tomorrow. I think the next day was the 24th. My home time was the next day. So it was like, I didn't get my time back that day till like 2, 3 in the morning. So I'm trying to call. So I called Kenworth. They said they do their little emission testing. So then they called the next day. No, I take that back. I called Breakdown. Breakdown said that we can't call until basically you finna get the moving. We not finna call right now, something. So I said, all right, bet. He was kind of getting smart, but I was like, bro, I don't give a fuck. I'm finna take this truck and, you feel me, go on. And I had a load too, so that's what made me mad. So, because you can't go home with you got to make sure that load is off of you, meaning like repower with somebody or something like that. If you abandon that load, of course they're gonna put that on your record or whatever. So I wasn't trying to do that. So I called the lady in the morning. The lady said, let me call that Kenworth. The Kenworth, they didn't do the emission test. They said that the manager is not in, they're not sure. So she said her listing said, so she said her list said it was someplace like in Missouri that I had just passed by to get where I was at. Like it was like 4 hours away. I said, I'm not driving. I said, I gotta go. I got my home time. So, well, just whenever you get it, your time back, just drive it on and park it, and we'll worry about it when you get back from home time. I said, all right, because they talking about I only had 2 weeks. I had 2 weeks to do it. So got back from home time, nowhere to do it. I'm still driving and stuff like that. I don't know when this month was due. I don't give a fuck. So I came back from home time. I was just driving, and yeah. So then I had to repower with one dude. So I stopped at like where I lived at, chilled there to do, because dude was like somewhere past like Knoxville, till he dropped it off. And yeah, so home time is gonna be a struggle trying to get home. They're not trying to get you home. I'm gonna just be real. They're not trying to get you home. It's a struggle with getting you home. All right, number 6, getting in contact with roadside. Every time I had a blowout on my trailer, I had a blowout on the interstate, like going towards El Paso. I was passing El Paso. I'm sorry, I was passing. I had a blowout. Sit on roadside phone line for like about an hour before somebody got to me. When they wrecked my truck, I got a video of that. If you guys knew, my truck got wrecked in Utah. Sat on the phone. Roadside is difficult to get in contact with. I understand it's a lot of truckers that but it seems like, bruh, can't that many people be having that many issues if y'all equipment is somewhat less than 3 years old. I mean, the oldest is 3 years old type of deal. But yeah, getting in contact with them. Number 7, low miles on dedicated. I don't know if it's just a thing that's going on right now out here in the industry or whatever case. I be seeing stuff like that on TikTok, but man, them miles, once I switched over to dedicated, bro, like I said, the only time I got something that was at least 1,000 over was the route going back to Dallas. Everything I had on dedicated was 500 miles and low. 500 miles and low. I was on dedicated for 2 weeks. I said, this ain't finna cut it. I'm thinking that I'm finna do like 400-500 miles a day. I'm thinking since I was OTR and I was getting 1,500 miles, but I had to do it in like 4 days. But if I basically get there on the 3rd day, repower somebody, get another load, they take that and deliver it, keep me moving like that. But that's on the West Coast. West Coast, you're gonna do good. I'm gonna be real, but I wanna be close to home. So the East Coast is not it. You're not gonna get that many miles if you're going dedicated on the East Coast. You get low miles. I didn't really like that. That's another reason why I dipped. And like I said before, the care for the truck is like getting to it with roadside and stuff like that. They're not keeping up with the maintenance on the truck. I understand it's your deal, but I'm a company man. The maintenance, I'm talking about every time I turned the wheel on that Kenworth, that motherfucker was popping, pow, pow. I had an air leak on my truck for like the whole time I was on dedicated. I came back. I turned off the truck. 5 minutes of me turning off the truck, all the air gone. I got to let it build all the way up to 120. Really, you can drive off with 100 PSI, but if you want to let it fully build up, it's like 125 something PSI or something like that. Stop the truck for 5 minutes. All the air gone. So one dude was telling me like, man, you need to man, you need to tear them, put that on your DVR so you won't get dinged for it and stuff like that. I'm like, all right, I keep seeing this. And then there was a lot of more stuff that was wrong with that truck, but I was just praying because the brakes were squeaking on my way back. I'm talking about squeaking from Virginia all the way to Dallas. Every time I stopped, squeak. So I don't know. Then when I took it into safety said that the brakes was good. They just got a little squeaky. I said, that don't sound normal to me, but if you guys in the comments let me know, does your semi brakes supposed to be squeaking? I was just hoping and praying that, I didn't get pulled over for no squeaky brakes and had no inspection or nothing like that. Trying to get towards my new job. So yes, they don't really keep up with the maintenance. They just patch them trucks. You're going to Stephen Transport, they just gonna patch them trucks and they gonna put you in it. Do a full inspection on it. Cause I remember when I first got my first truck before the second truck, because the first truck got wrecked. I said a lot of stuff that was going on. I went over there and checked. The truck was by the side of the shop for like 2 days. They messaged my DM and said the truck is finished. I went over there, the truck was in the same spot, never moved. So if you go there, Just be on them about fixing your truck, or just wait till you go out to a Kenworth or something. But then that's the thing, you go out to a Kenworth, Stevens got to approve it. Stevens ain't gonna approve it because they ain't gonna be trying to pay their money. But the people at the Stevens yard, they don't really be doing nothing, bro. They just be patching them trucks up and giving them to you. And you got to say something because that's your CDL, so you got to protect your CDL. I already talked about the chicks. Dedicated. I thought Dedicated was gonna be sweet. I didn't like Dedicated. Well, I didn't even get to stay on Dedicated long enough to see if it was sweet because the miles wasn't really cutting it for me, so I had to go. So Dedicated. If you cool with low miles and you cool with just chilling a lot, sitting a lot, I don't like that Purdue. I don't like that meat. I don't like delivering meat. I just found that out. The meat plants, you're gonna be sitting. Like I said, I did a whole 10-hour break at a meat plant one time. Let that sink in. Number 11. The Motel 6, Luna Lodge. Boy, that motherfucker Luna Lodge is something else. They got the doors on the outside. Luna Lodge look like the MLK hotel. It look like, I'm gonna be real, it's Mesquite. It ain't hood, it's like a Mexican hood. I mean, I done seen places hooded in there. I'm from the hood, so it just gives me that you just on the crack hotel or some shit like that. Like the other side, they said they got the shooting one time over there, but hell, I was asleep. Shit, that shit be normal where I came from, so hell, I slept through it. But then they did get to arguing one time outside, like some sissies or something. They said I ain't go out there and look, cause I'm like, I don't give a fuck about that shit. So Motel 6, they tried to renovate it. It's janky, and then you be hearing like little stuff up in the ceiling. I swear it sounds like it's rats running up in the ceiling, but I ain't never seen no rat. I only seen one cockroach was on my luggage. When I put the luggage on the bed to like, basically like this was orientation week at Stevens. So I didn't have this bag. I had like a small little white suitcase. I put it up on the bed, and I seen a cockroach run out like it was like on my wheel or something. It didn't come from my suitcase. It was like on my suitcase. And I kicked it off, and then my roommate seen it, and he like stepped on it. I was like, bro, what the fuck? So that's the only time I seen a cockroach in there, honestly. But you gotta check into a little keypad every morning and then tell them your name, and they'll activate your card or whatever. They gotta activate your card every day. Their breakfast not really talking about nothing. Some days their breakfast is good, some days it ain't good. So, I mean, if you want to add anything else about the Motel 6, you guys can. But then another thing, number 12 is the multi-stops. They don't tell you this. So when you in training at Stevens, you're gonna be doing deliveries with a trainer that's a contractor. He gonna be getting straight runs. He gonna be getting like 900, 1,200, 1,500. 1,600 mile runs and stuff like that. That ain't gonna be for you. I experienced it when we had to do a repower, and I was trying to get my Northeast knocked out. That's all I had left. So this guy had like 2 other stops on his delivery, and my trainer's like, I'm glad I don't gotta do this. So I'm glad I don't gotta do this no more. I put in my time. I was like, what you mean? What you mean put in time? Cause I didn't know, like, I just know we were switching trailers, but I didn't know what he was talking about. He was like, yeah, we got 2 deliveries on this trailer. I said, 2 deliveries? I used to do box trucks making multiple deliveries. I didn't know at the time that you made multiple deliveries with a semi. So he was like, yeah, he said, this is some newbie stuff. I put in my time. I said, so when I start, I'm gonna be doing multi-stops. He was like, most likely. But I said, why I don't get trained on doing multi-stops? And he was like, but so what it is they giving them the good, decent loads, thinking that that's how it's gonna be when you get out there. I'm not saying every load is gonna be a multi-stop, but when you get out there, they thinking that you gonna be smooth like it. And that's how Dedicated got me with that 225 mile run, and it was 3 stops. when you ain't put your time in, I'm assuming you gonna get a lot of them multi-stops, 2-3 stops within 2-3 day spans, and you gotta make them. And then the miles ain't gonna be there. Be real, the miles ain't gonna be there. So he did it off the strength of trying to, give me my Northeast, and I appreciate that. So I got my Northeast, and yeah, he put me up on game on that. And then I think I only did one multi-stop. That was at 225. I think I only did one multi-stop, and that was on dedicated. But like I said, when I first started, I had a good run. I was learning my rhythm, and I was getting the hang of things. But I was on the West Coast though, and they hit my truck in Utah. They hit my truck. I was in Utah for about 2 days in a hotel. They flew me back to Dallas. So when they flew me back to Dallas, I was in Dallas for I round up 3 weeks. 3 weeks with no truck. I think you was getting paid like $100 a day or something like that, like training pay. But at the Texans, that ain't really nothing. You know what I'm saying? I mean, it's better than $0. But so I had to wait on the truck. I was like 10th in line, like when I got back. Yeah, I waited about 3 weeks. As soon as I got my truck, I had to go to Laredo, get a load, go to Utah, because they wanted me to get my stuff out of my old truck before they recovered. So by the time they did all that, it was so close for me to go home. Dedicated called me, and they Purdue, and I took it. And then they had to get me home, and I came back. They fixed my time. They called me because I put in the tablet home. I said, I'm going home. So then whoever on the tablet seen it, they called me. It was like, where you parked your truck at? They said, we get you coming back on Sunday. I was like, no. I said, this is my first home time. I got 7 days, so they changed it. But my wife said, technically, I got 6. I don't know. It don't matter. But shit, I was like, it don't matter. I really need to go back. I went back on a Tuesday. I was like, look, I need to go back sooner because me being at home time, you ain't getting paid for home time. So I try to tell my wife that. She don't understand that. I get it. I want to be home with them, but when you a trucker and you on home time, you ain't getting paid. That's just point blank period. But they got the pros of, I'm gonna be real honest, like Stevens Transport, they training is real top notch. I'm gonna just be honest. I don't know how Warner training is due to me coming in as an experienced driver, but I'm glad that I went to Stevens for they training and the experience, because that training is good. But like far as the trainers, they're not on the same page. So it's like, I say, like when they training, they tell people to be trainers, but everybody not like, it's not like they got like a list. Like I feel like Stevens should have a list of like things that they should hit. Meaning, I'm not talking about the East Coast, the Central, the West Coast, the 2 miles. I'm talking about like, it needs to be a list. Like, okay, you need to let them do this amount of backing, this amount of this amount of that, this amount of this, and like it needs to be. That's what needs to be completed. Not, oh, you just some freestyle trainer, because I had 2 trainers and both of them trained differently. And I get that two different people gonna be different, but if you training like on a bigger scale, which is a mega carrier company, it needs to be, you need to have like a list where basically everybody that comes out of your training is somewhat the same. If you want that same expectation from everybody, that safety, that this, that, it needs to be checked off. That's what needs to be trained. Not people that coming in, they just train them on what they know, and they just got to hit these little requirements just to get out of training. It needs to be this, but they not gonna care because they got trained. They got people coming out every week, so you can't necessarily. I mean, I'm not saying you can't, but they got they doing too much to do that. That's too much like right. But yes, they need to come out with some type of layout that they have to complete. You have to do this amount of this amount of that, instead of just, oh, you got to get 2 mountains, drive in the West Coast, drive in the East Coast, and blase. It needs to be more than that. So yeah, the training is great. So if you're going to Stevens it is good for training. if you got a family, I'm just be real. If you got a family, I know some people is doing good, so I'm not gonna say everybody, but for the most part, if you got a family and you know you kind of like you want to be home, but you still want to make your money, but good luck to you. If you plan on like yeah, you go there for the experience, you go there for the training, you're gonna be real good because you're gonna take that elsewhere. Because I can tell that from Stevens and Warner orientation is two different orientations. Stevens orientation, you're gonna be there from like 7 in the morning to like 9 o'clock at night for like 3 days. Like Sunday night, Monday night, and Wednesday night. I think Thursday and Friday you ain't there that long, because then you either finna go out with a trainer. So like that Sunday, Monday, and Wednesday, and then I think that Thursday you'll be hired on like on a Thursday, but then that Sunday, Monday, and Wednesday you technically not hired on because you're doing all your physical drug tests and all that. But those days are long, and then you go up on the hill doing maneuvers and stuff like that. And Warner orientation, you just going over a couple slides, you do some e-learners, they go out and you do maneuvers like you was doing 90s and 45s. But since I was experienced, I didn't have to do all that. I did have to back it up, do a 45, like show them how to do a 45, but I did it and it was cool. But yeah, man, that's the reason why I left Stevens. I'm gonna just be real. I didn't want this video to be that long. So if you have any more questions, concerns, leave it in the comments. If you somebody that want to enlighten people, I see people in my comments enlighten people on stuff. You know, that's still cool because you technically still hired there. So I'm not gonna cock block you. If you want to, help somebody out, give them information, leave it down in below. If you like this video, give it a thumbs up. If you want to continue to follow me in my journey at Warner, give it a thumbs up and subscribe. I appreciate everything. Let me know in the comments, hey, I'm rocking with you. I'm gonna continue to watch all your videos. Let me know in the comments. I will respond to you. But a lot of stupid stuff I don't be responding to. I'm gonna just be honest with you, because I can just tell a lot of people that come in my comments, they haven't watched none of my other videos. They just coming from my new videos and they not really put up on game. So like, before you really just respond in my comments, go check out my other videos and see if I already dropped some on it, which I most likely did. So that's why I enlighten a lot of people through this video about my stuff, and it's in older videos, because a lot of people don't tend to go look at my older videos. They just see this one video and they think they're all okay. But no, I have a whole journey. I have a whole playbook of information for you guys. So I will do the same for Warner, enlighten people, letting people know good and bad, because yes, at Warner, there's no updated content. I know there's some people that's starting on TikTok, but as far as I know, Redline, and then you got FTJ Trucking, but they don't drop videos like me. They don't update you like me. So people are just very plain and dry, and the videos are old. Like a lot of Stevens videos are old. So that's the reason why I decided to make the videos that I did, because to help other people out. And I'm glad that I helped a lot of people out, and I'm still helping people out. So yeah, man, that's pretty much it. Like I said, if you got any questions, concerns, or anything like that, just leave it in the comments. I appreciate everybody for watching. I hope you come back for my next video. I hope you subscribe. I hope you like the video. And yeah, man, that's it. And I'm out.